Hi everyone, I'm Shubhendu Kanthula. And currently I'm working with HCL on a project which is a banking project. So, currently my role is BA come a project manager role. Talking about my background, so I have around close to 10 years. It is 9.9 approximately, if I say. So, I have around 9.9 years of experience that comprises of retail banking, wealth management, and capital markets, and then I switched on to BA role. So my last assignment was with Cognizant, where I was working on a capital market project, and I was a team lead over there. So this is my short background, and I do have a good knowledge of my domain, like what I talked of, like retail banking, wealth management. Yes, because that is somewhere because I worked in bank. I've been into customer facing. I've been a relationship manager. I have worked as a deputy branch manager where I was handling the total operations of the branch, starting from audit and day-to-day activities of the branch. So this is a little about me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so thanks, Surendu. So yeah, I think we are good to discuss on your experiences around stakeholder
yeah,
management.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we wait or should we continue? Because I think there are only four of us.
Yeah, I think we should continue. The session is getting recorded, so sometimes people log in later and
Okay,
listen to the record.
fine, fine,
Yeah,
got
so
it. Okay.
we'll
So,
continue.
okay. This is something related to your communications. Like, if this is for all the aspiring BAs who want to switch their career and switch their vertical from whatever they are working currently and they want to come into a BA field, or whoever are working in a BA field. So, this is something very important, and the basic of BA is that you should be having a good communication skill. You should be a good listener and you should be a good orator or a speaker. So, what is a stakeholder? What is actually the stakeholder management? Going on to that, we will first understand what is a stakeholder or who is a stakeholder. So, stakeholder in layman language or in general terms, if I say stakeholder is someone or any person or any group which may be positively or maybe negatively impacted by the project. Or you can say stakeholder is someone who can positively or negatively influence your project. So this is someone uh, we can say this is the definition of a stakeholder where uh, the person is or the group is affected by the project. Maybe it could be a positive effect or it could be a negative effect. Now, if I talk about who can be your stakeholder, now coming to the definition which I have quoted, so you will think that all the people in the team or all the people who are working in a project, they all seem to be stakeholder. Like a PM, a project manager can be a stakeholder, a project team member can be stakeholder, senior management like CEO or MD or uh, the board of director person can be a stakeholder, the project sponsor can be a stakeholder, customers or the user, the end users can be the stakeholder, vendor or suppliers can be the stakeholder, your competitors also can be your stakeholder, or the government groups or the political parties or maybe government political social pressure groups. Like if I talk about the environment, like if you are starting any project which is related to something related to environment, then there might be some groups or some organization which might be involved in some social issues or social activities which may affect your project of that environment related project. So these all can be your stakeholder, but now there are some steps involved in stakeholder management. Stakeholder management, now you have understood the who is a stakeholder. Now what is the need of stakeholder management? Stakeholder management helps you to identify the stakeholder. Means you will have to identify your stakeholder. You and everyone or anyone will seem stakeholder to you when you are working on a project, but you will have to identify your stakeholder, and you have to keep them engaged during the life cycle of the project so that you achieve what is desired by the stakeholders, or what they actually want. Now, the stakeholder management is divided in four steps. Sorry. So four steps comprises of, the first step is identifying your stakeholders. So as I told you, going through the definition of the stakeholder, it seems that all are the stakeholder, but you will have to identify, actually you will have to identify the stakeholders who are actually impacting your project. Like suppose if you're building any product for a bank now, wherein RBI also comes, because it's a regulatory body and you will have to follow the rules which are uh, sanctioned by the RBI. If you are developing any product where the trading takes place, share trading takes place, wherein you will have to follow the guideline of the share trading of the regulatory. If you are building a product of insurance, there you will have to follow the guidelines from IRDA, the insurance regulatory. So you will, first of all, you will have to identify the stakeholders. Okay. Now, when you have identified your stakeholders, then you will have to plan how you will engage with the stakeholders, because stakeholder can be the higher management people. The stakeholder can be a CEO, can be MD, can be group of director, or the shareholders who are investing in that company. So you will have to plan out how you will be engaging with your stakeholders, because sometimes it becomes difficult to engage with your stakeholder because they are of higher management. They do not have so much of time. They you cannot uh, you know uh, frequently mail them or frequently message them like we want to have a call, or so you will have to plan out the process how you will be engaging with your stakeholder. Now, third step is you will you will be executing the plan which you have made. Like whatever the plan you have made to engage with your stakeholder, you will be executing. Fourth step is you will be monitoring the stakeholder engagement. Monitoring the stakeholder management means uh, monitoring the overall project and updating your stakeholder simultaneously on that, and adjusting your strategies and plan as required by the stakeholder. So these monitor the stakeholder. So these are the four steps involved in stakeholder management. First of all, you will have to identify your stakeholders. Then you will have to plan out the engagement, how you will be engaging with your stakeholder. Third thing, you will be executing like whatever you have planned out, how you will be engaging with your stakeholder. You will be executing that and monitoring the stakeholder engagement, whether that is going correctly or not, and whatever the suggestions or the recommendations or any changes which the stakeholder is giving, you will have to do this in this phase. So this is a nutshell of stakeholder management. So stakeholder plays a very important part in your project. So if I talk about the real case scenario, like in my project, in my earlier project, I was dealing with a director. He was our stakeholder. So you will have to be very particular about what you say, what you highlight, and whatever you are speaking out there. Okay, because the stakeholder are, they can be of very high reputation, very higher management, in higher management. So you have to be very particular. You will have to plan out. So uh, for all the budding BAs who wanted to switch their career or who are currently working as a BA. This goes for all. So whenever you are engaging with your stakeholder, plan in advance. Like for our daily stand-up meeting with our stakeholder, we used to plan out 1 hour, half an hour before, like what all we will have to ask. We put it out in a format, like whatever the questionnaire is there, whatever what all questions the team member want to ask. We just get the minutes of meeting done, and then we used to enter the daily stand-up meeting. So this is a brief or a nutshell you can say about the stakeholder management. So yeah, I am open for the questions if any.
Yeah. So thanks,
Yeah,
Shubhendu.
and
That
one more point I want to add here. Yeah, sorry, Shipra, to interrupt. Yeah, so uh, this is something. This stakeholder management is something which you will not learn from anywhere. This is a practical experience. Once you are in a project and once you are dealing with the stakeholder, so you get a lot of experience, a lot of case studies. Like sometimes it becomes a case study also, because you face you face different types of stakeholder. Some are very stubborn, some are very rude, some are very nice. So this is something which is you have to build in your nature. You cannot learn it from any book or anywhere, and it is a practical experience which comes with your experience. Yeah, Shipra. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I was just saying thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that is really the crux of a stakeholder management, right?
Yeah.
So identify, plan, um, then implement that
Yes.
plan and monitor it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Identify, plan, then execute, then monitor. Simple. Yeah.
yeah, execute
Yeah.
it. So any questions, anyone?
Shubhendru, hi, thanks for your input, Shubhendru. So this is really helpful for us.
Okay.
So I have a small query. Yeah, I have a small query on this
Yeah.
one. So as you mentioned, I think the second point, planning, you mentioned, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so in our current project, actually, we are scheduling calls with our stakeholders and everything.
Okay.
So, but frequently, if they are not showing, how can we those kind of situations? How can we handle? Shubhendru?
Okay.
So
Sorry. May I know your name? Sorry, because it's not reflecting over here.
Vijay
Vijay.
here.
Okay. Vijay. Yeah, Vijay. So yeah, it's a very common questions. This is very common question. Like stakeholder do not reply. So okay, in this kind of a scenario, what you can do, you can follow the escalation matrix, or you can directly reach out to your project manager or your delivery manager, or if in case not, then you can go higher up in the ladder. So you will have to find out. See, uh, you you cannot directly if you cannot directly mail or message your stakeholder, you will have to seek some or the other path which uh, which do not look very absurd to the stakeholder. Okay,
Okay.
so you can follow. There might be some kind of a matrix or some kind of a hierarchy which you follow. Yeah, like you can reach out to your project manager, or might be your delivery manager, or you can, if you can reach out to your on-site project manager if you are dealing with a overseas stakeholder. Because see what
Yeah.
happens na, what happens in any of in see, like if I talk about project manager or delivery manager or on-site managers, so generally what happens na, uh, they they are on the project for a long time, so they do know people, how to reach, whom to reach. Like for in my example, if in case my stakeholder do not used to reply, or although he used to reply promptly, but if in case sometime the other stakeholder, because there was not only one stakeholder, we used to deal with I think 4 or 5 different stakeholder for different purposes, for different things. So if in case the other stakeholders are not replying, or not replying to our mails, or not joining the calls, we used to reach out to our on-site manager. and he was in the project for a quite a long time, and he know everyone in that area, so he used to reach out, he used to tackle the situation himself. So yeah,
Got it.
so this is one thing. Or what you can do, like I have not got this suggestion from anywhere, but this is what my thought is. You should build a good rapport. Like I used to, my delivery manager used to say that uh, don't put jokes in front of stakeholder, or talk whatever is necessary. Talk less. This was what my delivery manager used to say. But uh, I used to like if in case my stakeholder is on leave for some days, 4 or 5 days, then generally I used to ask like, how was your holidays? Okay, how's the weather out there? Sometimes for 4 to 5 minutes we used to talk, like what is going on around us. So you should build a kind of a relationship with your stakeholder. Yeah.
Okay.
Hope I have answered.
That
Not because, see, this is something where which is where you will not find answers correct or wrong. Yeah,
yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
something which depends on stakeholder. So you have to
Exactly.
adjust according to your stakeholder. Like whatever is his nature or behavior, you have to adjust in that kind of a environment. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
And Vijay, let me add my 2 cents, right? So as Shubhendu mentioned, plan, right? So if you have set up a meeting and the stakeholder is not joining those meetings, so basically your plan of communication is not working there, right? So it's the time to change the plan,
absolutely. Yes.
right?
Oh,
So yeah, so if you are not able to make him come to the meetings, does emails work with him, right? If try reaching out via emails, saying that this is what was discussed in the meeting. Are you on the same page, or do you want to add or change something here, or what your thoughts are? If emails are not working, try reaching out on your internal chat channels, Teams or Zoom or whatever it is, right? So communicators. So the internal chattings are there, right? So try reaching out by that. Some people are quite responsive on chats but not on emails. So if chat is not working, can you give them a call directly, right? So or maybe there are some meetings where they are joining in, and within that meeting you can say that I have scheduled a meeting today, is this time suitable to you? Otherwise we'll let me know what time you can join the meeting, right? So try changing your plans, and eventually you'll find a plan that works with that particular stakeholder, right? And if it is still not working, the second plan change or plan B would be to ask for a backup for that stakeholder. So if a technical lead is not coming to my meetings, what I will do is I'll ask for a uh, you know a, another technical person to represent that technical lead, right? Because I need technical inputs, whether the lead gives me or whether some other person gives me doesn't matter much. So there is always a backup in the organization. Your client side also, if there is a person you are trying to reach out, right? So if that person is not coming, the what is the next level person which is easily approachable, right? So and of course the third plan C will be to escalate and try to get the person come into the meetings by hook or by crook. Yeah, but that's the least preferred plan. First plan would be to change your strategy of reaching out. Some people are very responsive on a certain media but not on others. So I'm very active on Telegram but I'm not active on Facebook, right? So if you need to reach out to me, Telegram is better option. If you keep messaging me on Facebook, I might not see them for months. Yeah, so you have to just figure out what's the plan that works with a particular stakeholder.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very, very good and very important point highlighted by Shipra. Yes.
Yeah, so
So that
yeah,
is what
thanks.
where you will have to uh, see what kind of a behavior or attitude the stakeholder has. Like Shipra said, on which media stakeholder is more concerned, or more he is into which, or he or she is into which media, like Teams or messages or mails, or might be some other media. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So thanks both. Thanks for that. So just a quick note for everyone. Shubindu needs to drop at 10 sharp, which is 5 minutes from now. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise them now. Yeah. No questions.
Yeah. Hi, Shubhendu. This is Ravi here.
Hi, Ravi.
Yeah. What if two stakeholders or conflicts happen? Then how to respond? Or we escalate to the delivery manager or a
Conflict as
project
in,
manager?
okay, conflict as in you mean to say like the conflict happened between the two stakeholders.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
So, some stakeholders want to move ahead with the particular story, so
okay.
other stakeholder who don't want. Then
See, uh, in that case, what you can do, you can bring in your project manager or delivery manager. You first of all, you will go to your manager, your immediate. You can schedule a call for this, and you can have a voting done for that thing. You can see, you can have a collect session which is where both the stakeholders are there, your delivery manager or your manager is there, or you can invite your project manager as well, and you can come to a conclusion. This can be the case. See, there can be
okay,
various ways. You might have some or the other thing might be coming in your mind, like if you might be thinking, yes, I can do like this, I can go like this. This is what comes into my mind. See what happens now, for everything, if in case you are facing anything, so you have to reach out to your immediate manager or immediate reporting authority, or if in case he's not higher up in the ladder. Okay,
okay,
and you can have a joint session, you can have a
thank you.
joint meeting, you can uh, propose a meeting where both the stakeholders or all the stakeholders which are which are not agreeing to some or the other point, you can call them in that meeting. You can call all of your team members who all are there, and you can call your manager or delivery manager or a project manager.
Yep. Okay.
And if in case
Yeah.
it does not solve, then you can call other stakeholder or the stakeholders higher authority, or someone who has the power to say yes or no.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as Shubhendu mentioned, it's always beneficial for a conflict management to bring in a third party, an independent party, right, to which both the parties listen to. So it could be a project manager or someone higher in the client side, right? So who can give up impartial views. So we all are professionals at the end of the day, right? We are not children anymore that will be fighting over a candy or a toy, right? So first thing we need to do is maintain a professional behavior, right? Don't take anything seriously, in the sense that do not think of anything as something personal to you, right? The arguments or the conflict should be purely related to your work, not something personal, right? So the moment you lose the personal boundaries, things will definitely go out of hand, right? So don't comment anything on personal front. So whatever we are speaking, we should maintain a professionalism at all times. One thing that we have to cater for, right? And second thing is, there will be situations where you will have to give up and say that, let's agree to disagree. So I have used this statement sometimes. So it's not like, if one person will always be right and other person will always be wrong, right? It's not a fight wherein you have to decide what's right, what's wrong. So it's there will be situations where whatever you are saying is also correct, and whatever the other person is also saying is correct, right? So let's agree to disagree and bring in a neutral party to take a final decision on your behalf, because you are not able to take a decision, right? So that's why the conflict is there. So let's say as a BA, I'm saying that all my defects should be resolved before go live. And as for maybe a project manager, the person is saying, I have to go live, right? I don't worry about the defects. I let me go live, right? Why? Who are you to stopping me from going live, right? So again, there's nothing personal. He's not commenting on me. I'm not commenting on him, right? But there is a decision which we have to sort out. So we'll take it to the someone higher up in the ladder and will say that you decide. So what is acceptable? So usually these things are decided upfront, saying that we will go live provided there are no A or B category defects, but there if there are C category defects will go live. So these kinds of conflict management situations are tackled head on before they even arise, right? So usually the projects are driven like that, but still there can be certain cases where things are not smoothened out upfront, and the conflict arises. Then it's always beneficial, as Subhendu mentioned, to bring in a third party to take the final decision. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks Ravi for asking the question. Do we have any further questions? Vijay, do you want to add something?
Uh, Shubhendu, you are on Telegram group.
Yes, I'm there.
I need a some.
Yes, I'm there on Telegram. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I need a small help from you. Later, I'll
Okay, fine.
get in touch
Ping
with
me
you.
on Telegram. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And one more thing, Shipra. I think based on the Shubhendru timings. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, Vijay, please go ahead. I think we lost Vijay. It's showing connecting for him. So yeah, just a quick check, Shubhendu, do you need to drop off now, or
Yes, I need
are
to
we?
drop, but yes, let Vijay come back. I can spare 3 4 minutes. No issues. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's back.
Yeah, Vijay.
Yeah, Vijay. Yeah,
Yes.
you're audible.
Sorry, actually, some due to. Shubhendru, and I request Shipra also. So, based on Shubhendra timings, I think it's better. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Yes,
sorry. Yeah.
Vijay. Yeah.
So actually, based on capital market domain or wealth management domain, so better we put in one space. So that will be helpful for buddies who want to switch into capital market and wealth management domain. So based on your timings, I think it will be helpful, Shupra, for all of who wants to shift into capital market domain and everything. So that's a small request from my side. So I think
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can surely set up a session on capital markets
yeah,
domain.
that's thank you, Shupra. Thank you,
Okay.
Shubhendra. Thank you,
That's
Shubhendra.
great.
Okay. Okay, Shipra. Okay, Vijay. Yeah, okay, Ravi. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Shubhendu. Thanks for
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
joining us.
Thanks, SK.
Okay, so we still have half an hour. If we want to continue, we can continue. Yeah. Um, has anyone heard of uh, this power interest matrix?
Power interest matrix, I think we are not following Shipra currently in our organization. So I think, yeah, that is very helpful. So who has more power and
Mhm.
who will be more interested towards the project. So I think that's very beneficial. But yeah, in practical scenarios, I think now currently we are not following.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, the idea is to identify your stakeholders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if all stakeholders have more interest in the project, which all stakeholders have less interest in the project, which all stakeholders have more influence to make the decisions, right? So maybe PO is more influential than your some SMEs who are providing the inputs, right? And which all SMEs or which all people are less influential. So your project managers are more influential. They have more interest in the project, right? But maybe SME who is not going to use the system has less interest in the project, but he is still more influential. Maybe some release management team, right? So they have least interest, they have least influence in the project. So that way, you have to draw them out in this matrix. You can easily search for it if you just search for stakeholder management. The metrics will come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you draw your stakeholders on the matrix, then you can decide what to do with them, right? So let's say there is a person who has less interest and who has less power or less influence of the project.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need to keep them up to date as and when required. So maybe on monthly basis or maybe on quarterly basis, right? Just send them a note saying that these are the things going on. If there is a person who has more interest but the power is less, then also you need to just keep them informed, maybe send them weekly updates, send them invites to your meetings, and keep them as optional. Do not uh, you know ask them to come to each and every meeting, yeah. But if there is a person who has uh, more power but less interest, then what you all you need to do is to keep them satisfied, yeah, maybe with weekly updates or keep them invited to your meetings like that. But if there is a person who has high interest and high influence, then those are the people you need to focus your energies on. Those are the people you need to manage closely. So you need to give them daily updates. You need to include them in all meetings. Make them mandatory. Keep them satisfied. Keep them engaged. Uh, Try to build up close personal relationships with them. Uh, send them minutes of every meeting. Yeah, just keep um, keep thorough engagement with them. So that's one thing you need to do with people with high interest and high influence.
Okay.
So
Got.
stakeholder management, if I talk practicality, right? No one use any of the methods directly
Yeah.
as you will find online, right? So you'll find RASI charts, you'll find power influence metrics, you'll find this plan, engage, execute, monitor strategy, things like that, right?
Yes.
But the end of it, no one draws them out the way they are supposed to. Uh, at the end of it, you just need to know who are the people you will be working day in and day out, and you need to keep the communication open, right? Uh, the one thing which I have learned from my experience is that building trust is the key.
Okay.
So if you once you have built up your trust with the client, right? So that becomes more important, and that helps you drive certain things which the client may not be easily accommodating to. So, for example, there are certain capabilities which are not available, but you want client to follow some workaround. But that workaround you yourself know that is not a very good workaround, but the capabilities are not there, so your hands are tied, right? You can't do anything. So apart from providing a workaround. So if you have good relationships, if your client is trusting you, then you can easily talk to them and say that these are the product capabilities which are not available at a moment, but I'm trying closely with the product teams to get these capabilities in as soon as possible, but for the time being, let's do this way, right? I have found a workaround for you. But if you are not in good terms, if the client is not aware of you, the client does not trust you, if you are new to the team, then it becomes quite tricky to make the client understand the limitations and make the client agree to your proposed solutions. So the sooner you make good impression on the client, better it is. Same goes with your development testing teams as well, right? So the teams need to trust you. So there will be lesser conflicts if if once you have built up the trust of the team, yeah. So
Okay, got it, Shipra.
important. Yeah. As a person, right? So let's assume your friends, your family members, your workplace team members as your stakeholders, right? So are there any situations which where you were not sure what to do and how to manage? Let's discuss your experiences. Maybe not from personal side, there will be a lot of them, but yeah. So professionally, were there any experiences you faced wherein you thought that this was the situation, I could have handled it better if I would have done that? So maybe we can learn from your experiences. Yeah, Chetan, Ravi, Vijay. No experiences whatsoever coming to mind, or we don't want to share them?
Oh, nothing coming to my mind, Shipra. I just came to say hi. How are you?
Yeah,
How is everyone?
yeah, doing good.
Hi, Chetan. Hi.
Great.
Yeah.